Today I want to talk about Alabama winning the 7th national championship for Nick Saban, the 6th national championship since he took over Alabama in 2009, and putting together one of the most dominant seasons that we have ever seen after one of the most dominant seasons that we've ever seen after the bumper.
Don't be cornering me. Hold up. Time. You gotta help me with that corner shit.
What's up, kidfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. Consider hitting the like and subscribe button because I upload a video every single day. It's always college football related, sports related. We have a good time. Today, I want to talk about Alabama's 52-24 victory against the number 3 ranked Ohio State Buckeyes. And the longer this game was played, the more it got out of hand. First, I want to say a valiant effort for Ohio State and the Buckeyes for them to get this far after all that they had been through in 2020 speaks to the character of that team. Watching their season get canceled, lobbying for their season to be reversed, and so they get to play, waiting an additional 2 months to join the rest of college football starting the season in November, knowing that they have to run the table undefeated just to get a shot at the playoff, having the Big Ten have to adjust its rules so that their Big Ten champion, Ohio State, can get into the playoff if that is what the College Football Playoff Selection Committee decided. Getting in there as the 3 seed and then beating Clemson. And I think for Ohio State fans that are realistic, beating Clemson needs to feel good because after how you lost the game in the Fiesta Bowl and then watching Dabo rank Ohio State number 11, you got to feel good about that. But after Trey Sermon went down early in this game, we saw how it was going to go. And even before the game started, Tyreek Smith and Tommy Togiai were out. That's 2 of your dominant defensive linemen. But it didn't seem to matter all that much against Alabama with Najee Harris doing what Najee Harris does. Here's what I'll say, though. I said that if they held Najee Harris to under 100 yards rushing, they have an opportunity to win the game. They held him to under 100 yards rushing. 22 carries, 79 yards. They still lost 52-24, but that's because DeVonta Smith was on another level. He was saying, let me find out that what actually happens in Alabama is that Nick Saban sends those dudes out to Salada or to Planet Vegeta and then brings them back in for camp at Tuscaloosa, and we understand how Saban Saiyans continue to do what this is. Mac Jones goes 36-45 for 464 with 5 touchdowns. That's 80% completion percentage, and he wasn't the best player in the game. That's ridiculous. The record in the college football playoff for passing yards in the game is held by Joe Burrow, who had 463 against Oklahoma in an absolute rout. 493 yards of total offense for him. And if Mac Jones was a little bit faster, we're probably talking about him as challenging that, but he's not that fast. 4 rushes, 411 yards. The man looks like a fish in quicksand when he's running. It ain't going to work. But DeVonta Smith goes 12 catches, 215 yards, 3 touchdowns, in one half of football. For perspective there, Jamar Chase went at Clemson, went at A.J. Terrell, a first-round draft pick to the Atlanta Falcons for 9 catches, 221 yards, and 2 touchdowns in 2 halves of football. That's how good DeVonta Smith was. But we all know that. He won the Heisman Trophy, the Walter Camp Award, the Biletnikoff Award. He was a unanimous All-American. And there's a great argument to be made that he ain't the best player on Alabama's roster. That's Jalen Waddle, who actually did give it a go. And in his one explosive play, limped off the field. I applaud him trying to get out there and do something to help his team, but also pulling himself out saying, no, I can't keep taking snaps away from other guys that need to play. Slade Bolden getting his first touchdown grab of his career in the national championship game could be shades of DeVonta Smith in 2017, where he caught the game-winning touchdown pass to secure that championship, which leads me to what I think is the real discussion to be had about this game. This is the greatest recruiting class of all time. Certainly the greatest recruiting class Alabama's ever had. They played in 3 national championship games. They won 2 of them. And I want to give you the list of names associated with this class so you understand that I am saying this with all sincerity and also you get it. These are the guys that are in this 2017 class. Najee Harris, Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, Tua Tagovailoa, Alex Leatherwood, Dylan Moses, DeVonta Smith, Mac Jones, LeBrian Ray, Xavier McKinney, Jedrick Wills, Isaiah Buggs, Fadarian Mathis, Christopher Allen, Brian Robinson, and Daniel Wright. So there's a starter, there's the backup to the running back, there's a starting running back, there's a starter. Like, dude, we could see the most draft picks out of one single class from one school ever when this thing is said and done because of how Mac Jones and others produced in this class. Like, Mac Jones was a throwaway in this 2017 class. And to show you what the depth chart looks like at Alabama, the guy that people thought was going to be the transition from Tua to Bryce Young ends up leading a more prolific offense than the one that Tua quarterbacked. Tua in 2018 quarterbacked a team that averaged 45 points per game and was the most prolific Alabama offense of all time until this year. Alabama put up 48.2 points per game going into this thing and then put up 52 on the number 3 team in the country and 621 yards of total offense. A magnificent display for them. Defensively, Christian Barmore showed out. He's probably going to make himself a lot of money going into this NFL situation, this NFL draft. Alabama's also 6 of 11 on third down, 2 of 2 on fourth down. They were efficient. 157 on the ground total. I think if Brian Robinson comes back, he's probably going to end up as a first-round, second-round draft pick at running back, but we'll see what he decides to do. I know Najee's going to be the first guy off the board. And when I talked to Joel Klatt on the watch party, also shout out to y'all, those of y'all that watched me at the watch party, the mute button, I get past it, but it was a good conversation. I asked him, what's the difference between Joe Burrow and Mac Jones? And what he basically said was charisma, right? There's an air, there's an assurance, there's a confidence, right? There's a confidence to Joe Burrow that Mac Jones just does not exude. He called him a poor man's Joe Burrow. And if you can get that guy late in the first round, I think you're getting a steal. He throws for more yards per attempt than Trevor Lawrence did over the course of his career. He's thrown for a better completion percentage, right? 73% all time going into this game, something like 77 going into this game. And then he throws for 80% completion percentage, 36 on 45 attempts. Like, that's ridiculous. And then if we're looking at like yards per attempt, I got to check that out, but that's better than 10 yards per attempt. So he's right in there. I get that he's got assets, but if you're comparing him to Trevor Lawrence has basically relatable skill players in a weaker conference. I think that Trevor Lawrence should be outperforming Mac Jones if he's the consensus number 1 overall pick. But us that believe in Justin Fields did not get a whole lot of data to show you that in this game. 17 of 33, 194 yards, just a 51% completion percentage. But more to the point, Master T, when he came in relief of Trey Sermon, 15 carries, 65 yards, it mattered. Chris Olave, 8 catches, 69 yards. Not a great day. What we saw was Alabama was able to get home. It didn't matter that Brian Branch was playing the star safety position. It didn't matter that Jordan Battle got ejected in the first half with a targeting penalty that should have gone because he hit Jeremy Ruckert right in the jaw. Like, you can't do that. You can't have that. And when they went at Patrick Surtain, they missed. I was really enthusiastic about watching this game. I'm glad I get to see this. I know the defensive coordinators can't wait to see DeVonta Smith get drafted because he's terrorizing them. I am going to miss him. It's one of the things I love about the sport. DeVonta Smith is going to leave a legacy and become a legend in a way that Desmond Howard became legend in 91. And the list goes on. Like, what he is going to mean to college football in years to come is still to be figured out. But how about Nick Saban, who has as many national championships in the past 18 years as Oklahoma has in its entire existence? With one more national championship, Nick Saban ties Alabama for 8. Like, that's ridiculous. Even one national championship, which I've been alive for at Oklahoma, seems awesome, right? You want more, it seems awesome. For Nick Saban to have won 6 at Alabama since 2009 and 7, including that one at LSU in 2003, puts it in some sort of perspective. So we'll have more to say about this. I'm glad you guys were riding with me for this entire COVID year. I'm sure we can't wait to put it all behind us, and I'm excited for what this season is going to have in store now that we're partnered with Fox Sports, and I'm doing a lot for them. Check me out at foxsports.com where I'm going to write about this game. I got a way too early top 25 coming out at Fox Sports that we'll talk about here on the channel as well, and so much more. Thanks so much for being here. I can't do it if you're not clicking thumbnails, if you're not arguing with me in the comments, and if you're not hitting the like button or subscribing. I can't thank you enough for that. All right, that is it for me. Deuces.